And they're giving up on their kids.
Yes.
And there's something your dad mentioned as you came in. First of all, let's talk to those kids who are giving up, who are writing suicide notes, what you are writing, who are hitting rock bottom.
Yes.
Does that mean we are useless? Did it mean you were useless? There's something you said which is usually the opposite, always the opposite of the truth.
Yes.
What would you say now if you met a kid who is in that restless, rowdy, kicked out of this school or the other, incited one school to demonstrate, chased off that one?
What I can tell them, there are 4 types of pain. The suppressive pain. Suppressive pain is the pain that comes between the age of 4 to 16.
Okay.
Like maybe something happened when you were a kid.
You're right.
Maybe you are abused.
You're right.
Parents divorced.
You're right.
It affected you very badly. It's a pain that people keep in themselves.
Mention the divorce statistics you measured off air. What did you discover? You did research on schools.
Yes, I did research in schools. We took 20 schools, 10 boys schools, 10 girls schools.
Okay.
And we realized that right now, 60% of students, all of them come from broken families. 60% of students. 60%. And even that 40, they are not in touch with their parents. So the biggest gap right now we have as a generation is not unemployment, is not poverty, it's not accessibility to opportunities. The biggest challenge right now we have is parenting and families. That's where our challenge is.
Wow.
And actually, if families are straightforward, it affects the economy of a country. Because, can I ask you a question, Benjamin?
Yes.
How many people does it take to start a company? The least number of people, 12.
You're right.
How many people do you have in our families? Why is it that in Africa we don't have families that can begin companies?
You're right.
You find a family, a nuclear family has maybe 6 people, 7 people. That's enough to even kickstart a company.
Right.
But it will never happen because we are so much separated. So people are suffering from unemployment, yet someone has a shop, and that shop can become a supermarket.
You're right.
It's only that they haven't seen it that way. A family is a resource. It's a social capital.
That's true.
But because we have broken families, everyone thinks of making money and escaping from the family. Come to Nairobi, make money, then go back as a superstar in the village. So that when you meet in family gatherings, you can be able to give them tips. And you can be able also to give them 100 and 200.
Let me break down with it. He's talking about public companies. Of course, private company when you alone can register. He's talking about public companies that can benefit a lot of people. Family. And just to divert there a little bit, people know that Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, the richest guys, the richest. Our economy looks at individuals. But do you know that if they were to list the richest families, Elon Musk will not even be in top 5.
Yes.
His family is not. There's a family called Rothschild somewhere in France. They have in Dubai. They said if you go to UAE, you have families that are stinking rich, but they don't identify an individual.
Yes.
They keep it as family.
Yes.
So you are saying the crisis we have today, even in the economy of the countries.
Yes.
So there's another percentage you gave me.
Yes.
You talked about lesbianism.
The broken families. Now what happens from the broken families, because these are kids who have been affected by suppressive pain, the pain that comes from families, they end up now in lesbianism and gayism, because if it is a girl is dependent on the affirmation of a father. Because whatever the father tells a girl when she is 4 years old, 6 years old, 8 years old, she walks with that. If a girl is told by the father, you are beautiful, she will walk with that all through her life. If it is not said, she will look for that affirmation from the voice of a man. Because the voice of a man, what it does, it calls out the woman in a girl and the man in a boy. It can never change. We can argue about that, but that can never change.
That's right.
And so what happens is that this girl will now grow up and she'll realize I'm not being given attention by guys. And she's in her teenage years. She's seeing guys are talking to this other guy. So what this girl will do, she will look for a certain person to give affirmation. So girls in this generation are not even looking for sex. Mademu anatafuta mtu mwenye atawapatia affirmation. So kitu ina happen when a girl loves you, the best thing she gives you is herself.
Right.
When a man loves you, the best thing he gives you, he takes you to God and pushes you to her dreams. So what happens is that udem ata grow up, ako high school ama ako campus, anatafuta mtu mwenye atamuaffirm juu babake akuplay party affirmation. Now this girl anadate jamaa wa kwanza. This first guy, kumbuka udem bado ako na principles, anajua that kissing is bad, this one I cannot do. So she will tell this guy, we always tutakuwa tuna hang out but we can't kiss. And this guy maybe an heartbreak, maybe because you know what, me I want to kiss, me I want us to do this and this and this. So they will break up because of this reason. So she will go to the next guy. And because Ali realize umse wa kwanza ali break up nae because of maybe intimacy and all that, she will now follow her principles a bit. She will tell this guy, we can kiss, but you can't have sex. Remember, her agenda is that she's looking for affirmation. She's looking for a guy who can understand her, a guy who can listen to her, because the father never played that role. So now, ude makisha date umse wa pili, kitu yenye ita happen ni ati now this second guy, because I may relax her principles a bit, a girl will tell you know what, we can kiss. But the question I asked this generation, kuna dema liniuliza, is it bad to kiss? And I asked her, does anyone kiss with their hands in the pocket?
Wow.
Then when you think about that, it's deep.
You're right. That's true.
Because you're human, the moment you readjust your principles on this second guy and tell this guy, you know what, we can kiss, the moment you readjust them a bit, and because your body can be able to react, that's now how girls end up giving themselves.
You're right.
And because now maybe this guy is giving this girl constant affirmation, there's a way in which now this girl will give her emotions and all those things. And the moment now this guy has had sex with you, remember, sex must be accompanied with an agenda. It's like eating dania without chips.
You're right.
So now what happens is that because you never had an agenda, because by the time people get to a place of sex, there must be something extra other than that sex.
You're right.
The reason as to why our parents, you guys, I'm sure you don't wake up in the morning every day calling each other babe.
You're right. Yeah,
but every day something keeps you going because you have kids who you're looking at.
You're right.
So when you are bored with your wife, you talk about your kids.
You're right.
Say, how are our kids
You're
doing?
right. You're right.
You have invested properties.
You're right.
You have plots, you have lands that you're talking about.
That's right.
You have other ideas that you're talking about.
That's right.
You have things that you're thinking about. They are called external thoughts that have been built outside intimacy.
You're right.
But you see now our generation, the only thing we talk about, it's either sex, hanging out, going in a mall, taking pictures, posting each other on social media.
Right.
We have no investment that you have built with each other.
That's
so
right.
if it is breaking up, we break up within 20 minutes. There is no even process. There is no even legal ground to talk about, you see.
That's right.
So now what happens is that this girl is depending on affirmation from this guy. Now it is like this. By the time you're dating this guy, it's like your bottle of water is here. The glass of water is full.
Yeah.
Now you have given this guy sex.
Yeah.
Immediately I receive sex from a girl. Dopamine, the hormone that now gives me the chase. I call you, I text you every time, it reduces.
Yeah.
Now I'm speaking like a teenager.
Yeah, right.
Me talking to you and you playing hard and all that, to me it's exciting.
Yeah.
So I keep on calling you 6 times a day. I want to know if you've eaten and all that. The moment you give me sex,
Yeah.
my attention in dopamine reduces.
That's
so
right.
it comes to this level.
That's
so I will talk to you even after 2 days. I talk to you after 3 days. That is why before a guy has had sex with a girl, they call them, even they can even send bolt fare. But after that, they tell a girl, go home, we shall see each other. They
You're
don't
right.
even escort you.
You're right.
Yes.
Wow.
That's the truth of the matter. So by the time this girl has given sex, remember, the moment a girl loves you, the best thing she gives you is herself.
You're right.
So this girl has given sex.
Yeah.
Now what happens is that for her now she becomes sensitive enough. She wants to talk to you every time because there is an attachment to it.
You're right.
For men, sex is like urinating. Especially if it's a teenager.
You're right.
But for a girl, sex is more than sex.
You're right.
She'll feel like I've given you myself.
You're right.
She's vulnerable at that point. But you see now for us, we've just ejaculated. It's from a point of ejaculation.
You're right.
You're looking for the next girl.
You're right.
Now I keep on telling girls, apart from beauty and sex, what are you bringing in the relationship in your teenage years? You've not invested value in yourself. And someone said that beauty attracts, personality retains, but character sustains. And what happens?
Repeat that. Beauty attracts.
Beauty attracts, personality retains, but character sustains.
I like that.
And I keep on asking girls. I asked girls in a weekend challenge. I told 10 girls to stand up. And I asked them, what is the unique thing that you think you have that all these other girls don't have? One said voice. I said, who sings here? One girl stood and sang. Said, do you think you have a voice like hers? People said, no. One said, I think I'm pretty. I said, guys, who do you think is pretty here? There's a girl who won the Miss, whatever contest of that school, stood up. People said, I asked her, do you think she's beauty facially? People said, no. I told them, there's something that you must have. The beauty of something is in the internality of it. When you press a bottle, the internality of it, it is what makes it unique.
You're right.
Because a bottle will never change. It will still remain a bottle even when it is crushed.
You're right.
And so I keep on telling girls, what is the unique thing that you have that can make you really stand out when it comes to a guy? Because if it is beauty, I will see it in other girls. If you see, there is a lot of emphasis on buttocks and breast in this generation.
That's right, man.
There's a lot of emphasis on that. When you go to Instagram, TikTok, girls are putting a lot of emphasis. There's a gospel song in the background, but you're showing us your nyash. Okay. Make a gospel song for background, but in real sense you're twerking. So we are really not understanding. Is it Christ you're communicating, or you're showing us your buttocks?
Or crisis.
There's a lot of emphasis on that.
That's right.
So it is reducing the self-esteem of other girls, because it is making them think that they're not pretty because they really don't have buttocks and big breasts.
That's right.
There's a girl who died in campus because she had gone for an operation to expand her breast, because the guy broke up with her because she never had good breasts and the friend had big breasts.
No.
And so the guy told her, you know what, me, I don't think you're pretty. And so the girl had to go for an operation so that she can retain this guy in the relationship.
No.